Okay, great books. Centering Prayer and Inner Awakening. Again, Cynthia Bourgeault. This book will rock your world. Not easy, but perfect in the spring under a tree to read. Highly recommend. And then you'll start to open up in all kinds of ways, and you can even talk to yogis who have died, because I had this experience once of, I guess I was reading this book and I was experiencing some of the stuff she was talking about, and I just asked for my favorite yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda. I was like, I need some help here. And then I felt like he was there. He was like, it's okay. You're going to figure this all out. It's all going to work out. So I will tell you about the chapter, the theology of centering prayer within this book. So centering prayer is basically a practice that's similar to meditation. But it's a little bit different because it has this somewhat, basically, I shouldn't say somewhat, a Christian sort of framework, in that instead of just focusing your mind on a particular thing, which meditation does, instead of just being in the present moment in this sort of empty, vacuous space, which might be a little bit more like a Buddhist type of meditation, which I've tried all these things, this one works the best for me. Because it's about tapping into your heart, and you start to develop this power and vibration in your heart, these chambers, these blockages that have existed in you throughout your life, in your family line, in your community, in your culture, in your world, and suddenly the ocean of your heart is the ocean of the entire world, and you are connected with it. And you do this by placing Jesus as your guru to sit before, because he is the greatest healer that ever lived, right? I mean, if you want to be healed, you got to have him. You just do. It doesn't matter what your religion is. You can still do any other religion and still come to Jesus and say, please heal me. As long as you believe in him, he just touches you. Anyway, so it's an amazing shedding of layers. So she talks about dying to self. And when you're working on healing and growth and inner renewal in your life, it's really about shedding your ego. And so you go through this journey of experimentation and various experiences so that you're not operating from a place of ego, of what are people going to think of me, how am I going to be perceived, how the world operates, right, according to ego. Instead, you're operating according to what your heart desires, and you're getting really clear on what that is. And essentially, when you get under that into the pithy goodness of life, it's the truth. And you become a walking embodiment of truth. Now, that doesn't mean your truth is like you're elevated, you're better than anybody. By saying you're a walking embodiment of truth, it's your truth. It's you. You are you. You are you. Through and through and through, you are you. Most of us don't know who that is. Okay, so share a couple things here. Dying to self means being willing to let go of what I want or think I want in order to create space for God to direct, lead, and guide me into a truer way of being. So the story from a mystical standpoint or a wisdom standpoint of Jesus, right? Instead of the kind of materialist, fundamentalist, evangelical, rigid structure of Christianity that works for plenty of people, and hey, you got to do what works at the end of the day. If it makes you a better person, it makes you a better person, hopefully. If it's not making you a better person, then don't blame Jesus. The story is dying to self, dying to ego, and becoming more and more in union with this powerful vibration of love. And he is that vibration of love who lived, regardless of the details of his life, the ins and outs, the history, the accuracy, whatever, all that accuracy stuff. It's a spiritual entity that carries great, great power and heals. So regardless of the intellectual, rigid structure and frameworks of your mind, when you are feeling in your heart, when there is a vibration there, that is truth. Even if in the physical plane of existence, it kind of doesn't look the same. So there is this process, just like in nature, which is why all the parables in the New Testament are about nature, of a constant dying to self and a renewal and resurrection, right? Each day, in fact, is a dying to self and a resurrection. Each day holds the promise of an entirely new life and an entirely new world, because we are not in control. We think we are. We operate according to what we know and what's possible in our own world. I can do this. I have this day. But you never know when some tornado is going to come crash down and change all your plans. And you have to live with the awareness of that. And living with the awareness of what you do not know, what is possible, and the fleetingness of every moment of your life and your own mortality. Once you live with that and you're aware and you're breathing in that all the time, you're really alive. And that's what we're supposed to be. Alive. Not robots. Good luck with that.